Yes, I'm breathing in, and I just cannot contain my excitement. Hi, I'm Gabby and welcome back to another edition of The Fragrantician, where here on my channel it's nothing but fragrances. So if that's your bread and butter or your jam, then keep on watching, because boy, I have found a unicorn. I have found a unicorn, and by unicorn fragrance I mean, you know, when you smell something and your mind just blows into another dimension of stars and rainbows and everything, and it was just meant to be. Do you want to know what it is? Then keep watching. So this a unicorn. Now I'm going to keep you on your tenterhooks a little bit more, because it's not really talked about. I've only seen 2 fragrance reviewers talk about this fragrance, and here on YouTube, and I will link their channels down below. They are making a stink. I love making a stink. They are the quirkiest couple ever, Camille and Chris, and sometimes they're joined by Camille's sister, or they're joined by perfumers in the world. They raise questions that are uncomfortable in the fragrance industry, that make you question things, and I like things like that. So I haven't seen them around for a couple of months, so if you're watching, Camille or Chris, please say hi. And the other fragrant YouTube content creator I saw doing this, talking about this fragrance, is My Fragrance World, and she is a true connoisseur of all things fragrance, and I think she lives here in the UK. I think, although I'm not sure where she's from originally. She may well be British, I don't know. So she spoke about this fragrance as well, and you know, their channels are very different to my channel, and that's what I love about it, because we all bring something to the teapot, don't we? You know, some bring Earl Grey, others bring Lapsang Souchong, or others bring boring chamomile tea. We all know who those people are. Shade. And then there's me, that brings home a good old cup of Tetley's, a good old cup of Yorkshire brew. Tetley's though, Tetley's. I'm your Tetley's girl. So if I'm coming round anyone's house here in the UK, 50 cents, and then Tetley's is your girl. So let's start with this unicorn, shall we? Here we go. Ready for it? Ready for the anticipation? Ready. This is by Bogue Perfumery, and it is called My. I'm assuming it's called My. That's how I would pronounce it, M-A-A-I. Now, I did a week ago post on my Instagram page that I had a sample of this, and immediately I fell in love with it, from opening to finish to the dry down. Everything about the fragrance was a chorus of angels. A unicorn fragrance, a unicorn. It is, that's what we call a unicorn fragrance. It is something just purely magical that happened within me. It was such an emotional olfactory explosion. That's the only way I can describe it. It is not for the faint-hearted. It has my name written all over it. Now the perfumer is, let me just have a look here, Antonio Gardoni, I do believe. He has made a fragrance also for, I want to think, is it T-Rex, Tyrannosaurus Rex, which I've not tried for Zoologist. So with that being said, you can tell the type of perfumer that he is. He owns this brand. It is an Italian brand. It is just, let's just talk about the fragrance. Let's just talk about the masterpiece, because apparently, is it Luca Turin spoke about this as well? Let me just have a look here, just on my notes as I'm doing it. Yes, Luca Turin, who is, look, I'm not a perfumista aficionado. I am just one of these people that has a little old channel and is talking about fragrances. But this Luca Turin, oh God, if he's probably not watching anyway. Anyway, Luca Turin, it was featured in a publication by Perfumes by Luca Turin Loved in 2020. And he said, I cannot overstate the joy that smelling something like this provides. It's like sitting in the front row at the Vienna Philharmonic after listening to 2 months' worth of ringtones. The sound is so glorious you don't care if they play Die Fledermaus, and Mai is far better than even a big-boned, animalic woody chypre, seemingly laden with every magnificent material we knew and loved. So, as soon as I sprayed this fragrance, I was there, sitting at the front row of the Vienna Philharmonic, or at the front row of an ABBA concert. But anyway, Mai by Bogue Perfumery. Let's look at the bottle. It is, now, this bottle is a 50 ml eau de parfum, which I purchased from Bloom Perfumery. Now the top, I don't know if you can hear this. It is rubber. It is a rubber top. So I don't know what that is alluding to, but I love the feel of rubber in my hands. I really do. There's nothing more satisfying than just rolling some rubber in your hands. So this fragrance, it is an animalic. Let me have a look here. It is, well, of course it's animalic. It's floral, it's leather, it's spicy, it's unconventional, vintage old school animalic. This is according to Bloom Perfumery, their spiel. Like, I'm trying to think of the words at the moment. So the notes now. I'll read all the notes because there is a lot. So these are the notes. Aldehydes, okay. Now you know how I feel about aldehydes, but we also have Atlas cedar, bay, benzoin, black pepper, camphor, candied fruit, castoreum, chypre, civet, cloves, cypress, damask rose, eucalyptus, frankincense, geranium, hyraceum, indole, jasmine, labdanum, musk, myrrh, oak moss, oud, petitgrain, rose, rosewood, sandalwood, tolu balm, tuberose, vetiver, and ylang ylang. Now, if you're, I've got a hair caught here. Let's just get that. Let's just tuck my hair behind my ears. Now, if you are thinking to yourself, wow, what a cacophony of notes there. Now, the main notes that they have in bold are aldehydes, chypre, eucalyptus, hyraceum, labdanum, myrrh, oak moss, oud, petitgrain and rose. Those are what they have in bold here in this list of notes. So I'm assuming those are the main notes. I haven't looked at Fragrantica. I haven't looked. But this is an extremely, extremely leathery, animalic, floral, spicy chypre. This is, to some, a complete nightmare, and then to me, complete heaven. Now the one fragrance that does come to mind from Francesca Bianchi is Lost in Heaven, and that is probably the only fragrance that I really, really do like, apart from Sex and the Sea, Neroli, and also, is it Under My Skin. Those are the only ones that I really do like out of Francesca Bianchi range. Now this has a little bit of a vibe to that, but it's not the same. It's nowhere near the same. I'm just trying to give a comparison of a vibe. This, let's just spray it. Now, I only want to do, that's going to be enough. That is going to be enough. Wow, that is, I must admit, I love this. Oh, I love the noise as you put it back on. Now this, let me tell you, I am floating on air. Yes, I detect rose, I detect those florals, but those animalic notes of civet, hyraceum, or hyraceum, how do you pronounce it? Hyraceum, hyraceum, hyraceum. It all comes together at once. So if there are aldehydes in here, I cannot smell them, because it's just everything. It's fruits, it's notes, it's spices, it's fruity notes, it's spices, it's florals, it's animals, animalic notes. It is just heaven. There's a little bit of earthiness there, I feel, as well, but I had to have the full bottle. Beautiful, stunning, magical. I will do a full review on this. I have worn this, as I say, as a sample, so the projection is there, the sillage is there, the longevity is off the scale. And actually, my husband, when I wore this, he did a double take and looked at me, and when I had the sample, it was only a little 1 ml sample, and I used probably over half of that 1 ml sample, so I had about a little bit left, and that was too much. That was far too much. This, you only need 2 sprays maximum. More, well, you're gonna, well, it's just a unicorn fragrance. Animalic, skank. I'm not going to say any more because this video's gone on for far too long and I want to do a full review at some point. Animalic, skank. Don't care. I love it. And it's a gem. So you've been watching another edition of the Fragrantician. Now, while I just go off to cool down, I'll leave you in anticipation for the next video. Bye for now.